Vanakkam, the South Indian is here. You know, it's not just enough to pride oneself that our language is most ancient, our culture is very ancient, we have the best literature, we have the best of everything, if what we speak and the way we behave goes absolutely against what we stand for, that is being cultured. Our main story is coming from Tamil Nadu today. Yes, the DMK, that is the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, prides itself on having built its ideology on anti-caste, anti-Brahmanism, anti-Hindi planks. That is indeed its kernel. But you know what happens when you breach every standard of decency because of your loyalty for the party and more importantly, its bosses. It's like being more loyal than the king. Let me also clarify very clearly, this is about an old video clip dating 2019 of DMK MP from central Chennai, Dayanidhi Maran, once the textile and IT minister, which has gone viral, in which he can be heard speaking in the most disparaging manner, using the most severe ethnic slurs against workers from Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. The speech, of course, was made 4 years ago, shortly after the parliament elections. I am not going to show you that video. I don't think it's worth it. I mean, I am sure that a lot of you may have accessed it on social media platform, but on the South Indian show, no way, sir. I am not going to do it. And therefore, let me repeat what Dayanidhi Maran, the man who went to Harvard and is the grandnephew of Muthuvel Karunanidhi, said. Maran, while opposing the imposition of Hindi on the people of Tamil Nadu, said at that juncture that Prime Minister Modi won 2019 only because of the Hindi speaking population. He said, and I shall quote him here, "Those who voted for him, meaning Modi, are the Hindi speaking people. To increase the votes of the Hindi speaking people in the next 5 years, Modi is trying to impose Hindi on us. But just because we speak Hindi, will the country become unified?" Our leader, Karunanidhi, often says that we are not against Hindi, but do not impose Hindi on us. So far, so good. I think, you know, so far what he said absolutely fits like a glove, because that's what DMK is all about. Because he made his point about Hindi imposition, the next point was also, according to me, within the parameters of decency. He spoke about how Tamil Nadu promotes both Tamil and English, because of which many young people in the state were employed in the IT sector. He also quoted, of course, Sundar Pichai in the context, and which is just fine. But it is what he said next which was and shall remain to be most objectionable and offensive. And please, let's not go on about, oh, it's an old video. Once a thought like that, forever a thought like that. He said, and I am quoting Dayanidhi Maran here, "Who are the ones constructing buildings today? Those who learn only Hindi in UP and Bihar are coming here, learning Tamil and constructing houses for us, cleaning roads and toilets. This is what happens if you learn Hindi." Close quote. That's what he said about constructing roads, our homes, and of course cleaning toilets. Dayanidhi Maran for you, ladies and gentlemen. So, constructing roads and homes and cleaning toilets is despicable for Dayanidhi Maran. Hypocrisy much from a man who comes from a stable of leaders who promoted Samuttavam or equality. After Udayanidhi Stalin's bitter criticism of Sanatana, much misplaced, I think, I am still saying that he does not understand the meaning of it in the first place. The India bloc, of which DMK is a party, has scored yet another self goal. Many voices criticizing Maran's statement were made. Listen in.
आप लोगों का सवाल है कि भाई जो तमिलनाडु के जो नेता ने जो बात कही, पहली बात तो जो करुणानिधि जी की जो पार्टी है, डीएमके पार्टी, सामाजिक न्याय में विश्वास रखती है। अगर उनके दल के अगर कोई भी नेता अगर बिहारियों के बारे में कुछ बोले हैं बिहार यूपी के लोगों के लिए, तो बहुत निंदा करने वाली बात है। इससे हम लोग सहमत नहीं। बिहार और यूपी के लोगों को जो मजदूर है, पूरे देश में जो है मांग उठती है। लोग डिमांड करते हैं। अगर वो ना जाए तो उनकी जिंदगी जो है ठप हो जाएगी दूसरे राज्यों की, और ये बात जो है लोगों को समझना चाहिए। लेकिन इस तरह का अगर बयान आया है तो इसकी हम निंदा करते हैं। अगर उन्होंने कहा कि बिहार के लोग आकर के नाला साफ कर रहे हैं या कुछ भी साफ कर रहे हैं, अगर ये बात अगर वो बोलते कि कुछ विशेष जाति के लोग ही नाला साफ कर रहे हैं तो एक बात होती कि भाई एक विशेष जाति के लोग ही क्यों नाला साफ कर रहे हैं। लेकिन उनका कहना अगर बिहार यूपी के लोग आके हमारे यहाँ इस तरह का काम करते हैं तो ये निंदनीय है। इसलिए हम सब लोग जो है इसकी निंदा करते हैं और इस तरह के बयान से दूसरे राज्यों के नेताओं को, चाहे कोई दल में हो, बचना चाहिए। ये देश एक देश है। हर एक प्रांत के लिए हम बिहार के लोग दूसरे राज्यों के लोगों के सम्मान करें, और हम अपेक्षा भी करते हैं कि दूसरे राज्य के जो लोग हैं बिहार और यूपी का भी सम्मान करें। इस तरह की बात नहीं होनी चाहिए।
अब फिर से एक बार डीएमके के सांसद दयानिधि मारन ने उत्तर भारतीयों को और हिंदी के प्रति जो शब्दावली इस्तेमाल की है ये बेहद दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है, पर यह सहयोग नहीं, ये सोचा समझा प्रयोग और उद्योग बन चुका है। हाल ही में उनके दूसरे सांसद सेंथिल कुमार ने गौमूत्र राज्य कहा था, उस समय पर भी कोई कार्रवाई उन पर नहीं की गई, क्योंकि कांग्रेस पार्टी तो स्वयं इसमें विश्वास रखती है। जिस प्रकार से राहुल गांधी ने उत्तर भारतीयों को अपमानित किया था जब वो अमेठी से हारे, प्रियंका वाड्रा ने मजाक उड़ाया था, चन्नी जी ने जब भैया बोला था तब, उसके बाद जिस प्रकार से डीएमके के लगातार नेताओं के इस प्रकार के बयान आए हिंदी के खिलाफ, उत्तर भारत के खिलाफ, और इस पूरे प्रकरण पर इंडी अलायंस के लोग लगातार चुप रहे, शांत रहे। आज सवाल बनता है कि पहले सनातन का अपमान किया, हिंदुओं का अपमान किया, तब ये लोग चुप रहे। उसके बाद ओबीसी के नाम पर जाति में भेदभाव करने का काम किया, डिवाइड एंड रूल करने का काम किया। अब नॉर्थ साउथ में डिवाइड एंड रूल करने की कोशिश इंडिया अलायंस कर रहा है, और जो उत्तर भारत और हिंदी भाषी राज्य और हिंदी भाषी बोलने वाले लोगों के खिलाफ बोला गया, उस पर अखिलेश यादव, तेजस्वी यादव, लालू यादव, नीतीश कुमार, अरविंद केजरीवाल, ये लोग कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे। ये प्रिटेंड करेंगे कि ऐसे कुछ बयान आ ही नहीं रहे। ये दिखाता है उनकी मानसिकता और इंडिया अलायंस का एजेंडा कि बांटो और राज करो, ये उनका एजेंडा है। सनातन को गाली दो, भारत के लोगों का विभाजन करो, कभी जाति के नाम पर, कभी भाषा के नाम पर, कभी धर्म के नाम पर। यही इनके गठबंधन का विषय है, और इसीलिए आज ये लोग चुप है, कोई कार्रवाई नहीं कर पा रहे डीएमके के खिलाफ।
देखिए, नीतीश कुमार और लालू यादव को चुप्पी तोड़नी चाहिए और इंडी गठबंधन से डीएमके को बाहर निकाल करना चाहिए। ये कोई पहली बार बयान नहीं दिया है। ठीक है आपने कि सनातन धर्म को जिस तरह से गालियां दी गई और बिहार के लोगों को, हिंदी भाषियों को लगातार गालियां दी जा रही है। देखिए, जो तेलंगाना का चुनाव हुआ, उस तेलंगाना के चुनाव के बाद ये उत्तर दक्षिण का विवाद पैदा करना चाहते हैं। इनको लगता है कर्नाटक में चुनाव जीत गए, केरल में उनकी सरकार है।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत के लिए माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन में काम करती है, और जब इस प्रकार की जो भाषा बोलते हैं मैं उसकी निंदा करता हूं, लेकिन इसका जवाब श्री राहुल गांधी जी को देना चाहिए, श्री अखिलेश यादव जी को देना चाहिए, और जो ऐसी पार्टियों से अपने रिश्ते रखते हैं और उत्तर भारत में राजनीतिक सफलता की आस भी रखते हैं, इसका जवाब उनको देना चाहिए। हमारे लिए उत्तर हो, दक्षिण हो, पूरब हो, पश्चिम हो, सारा भारत एक है, सारे भारतवासी एक हैं, और देश की प्रगति में सबके सहयोग की अपेक्षा रहती है। और इस प्रकार के जहरीले बयानों के लिए अब देश में कोई आसान नहीं है। इस प्रकार के बयानों से किसी को कोई राजनीतिक लाभ नहीं मिलने वाला है। इसीलिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी दिन दूना रात चौगुना बढ़ रही है, और जो बहुत इस प्रकार की क्षुद्र मानसिकता की राजनीति करते हैं और उनका एकदम पतन हो रहा है, उनका जनता स्वयं सफाया कर रही है, और आने वाले समय में हिंदुस्तान के हर राज्य में कमल का फूल दिखेगा।
Even as Congress's Pawan Khera reacted sharply to what Dayanidhi said on X, and I'm quoting Mr. Khera here. He said, "This is a very rude comment. Perhaps there might have been some mistake in speaking and understanding. If he has said this, then it is absolutely unacceptable." I know Pawan Khera is trying his best to see whether certain things were misunderstood. No, they weren't. He said it, he meant it, they always mean it. Now, K. Kavita of the BRS, daughter of the erstwhile Chief Minister of Telangana, K. Chandrasekhar Rao, who was once wanting to join the Indie bloc but later signed out, she has challenged Rahul Gandhi to react on the statement. But you know what? More than politics, Dayanidhi Maran represents the most divisive and downright secessionist comment ever. I am saying that. I am sticking my neck out. How does it help the DMK? I ask you. And most importantly, the India bloc. Let's now debate, and let me now introduce all my guests. Mr. Prakash Damodaran, very senior journalist who works with Nakiran, is joining us, but on the phone line. Bhanuchandra Nagarajan, political analyst, is joining us. Suresh Kochatil, who is a senior political analyst, and JVC Sriram, author and political analyst, is also with us right now. I want to first go to Suresh. Suresh, you know, I'll speak about, I mean, I've said enough in my intro. I mean, not for a moment. A good friend of mine said that how come, but why not? I mean, DMK is saying these things, and which are despicable, disparaging, downright rude and offensive, and I think we need to, and I don't care that it's from 2019. I was explaining to somebody, but I'll come to the 2019 also. For instance, if I spoke in favor of Sati, that does not absolve me if you bring it up later after 6 years. It still means that what I said then, I have to stand by it unless I apologize, and Dayanidhi Maran will never apologize. Suresh, I want to ask you that this entire indie bloc, this is the other self goal that they have very happily scored, because the first time around was the Sanatana thing, which I have said very clearly. Udayanidhi Stalin has no knowledge, God should forgive him. But then the thing is that this is the second self goal. Don't you think with this, the indie bloc is, I am not going to talk about how divided it is, but it's almost like a spent force, Suresh?
I agree with you totally on this aspect. And not the first time DMK is doing it. I mean, I can speak Tamil fluently, even though I'm a Malayali who grew up in Hyderabad, can read, write, speak Telugu. Why should one have a kind of a proud of being a Tamilian? Yes, you should be justifiably proud. The language is pretty old, but doesn't mean that a Bihari comes to clean toilet. We heard this remark by the, I think, DMK secretary, who said that North Indians come and sell pani puris in Chennai. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with somebody selling pani puri on the streets? I mean, it's a very, very good job to do. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, come to think of, I can compare of two states. The state where I come from, originally hailed from Kerala. Today, Kerala is run by Bengalis, Assamese, Odia, you name it. There's not a hotel, there's not a petrol bunk, there is not a, you name, every sector in Kerala, including the construction sector, is dominated by these people. But we don't see these comments coming from Kerala. Why? Because they do the same thing, isn't it? They come and they do jobs which the Malayalis traditionally never liked doing it. But today, even to climb a coconut tree, you find a Bihari or a Assami doing it, and they have no qualms about it. Because for them, Kerala is Dubai, where they get paid good wages and they get good work timings, and that is all more important.
Absolutely.
But I think the dignity of labor is also extremely important. I think Dayanidhi Maran saying it 4 years ago doesn't make a difference, because he said it 4 years ago, that shows his mindset, and the mindset is same as of today.
Right.
But that has never gone away. And you see rightly that it's a secessionist tendency.
It is.
I mean, why doesn't somebody in Telangana talk about, we have huge migrant population here who come from North India, mainly in the construction sector. Why don't we speak disparagingly about them?
Yeah, just a minute, Suresh. I'll request the producers to please put up that graphics which talks about the migrant population coming into Tamil Nadu. Look at their contribution. I mean, I don't want to sound like, also ran or giving them a consolation prize. I'm very proud of it. People like Dayanidhi Maran should actually kind of climb down before they say, these things. There is a graphics which will be put up in a few moments from now about the migrant population which comes to work in Tamil Nadu, be it Bihari, be it, like Suresh said, Udiyas, be it others. Prakash Damodaran, let me now come to you. Vanakkam, sir. Sir, I want to ask you that someone like this man, Dayanidhi Maran, who has an English education, I mean, he speaks Tamil, I mean, we are grateful, but then he went to Harvard, he went to Loyola College, if I am not wrong, who's speaking like this from a party which speaks about Samuttavam, which speaks about no caste, the annihilation of caste, which speaks about how the marginalized and the disempowered should be brought into the mainstream. What kind of a statement is this, Prakash, sir?
See, you have to see every statement in its context, in which period it is delivered, on which manner it was delivered. Somebody want to impose Hindi as national language, which we doesn't like. We don't want Hindi. Somebody want to impose and say that Hindi is very great, then Dayanidhi Maran's statement comes as a retrospective effect, as a reflection to that, saying that, see, Hindi wallahs are doing fourth-rated jobs here in Tamil Nadu, but our Tamilians are going as software engineers and in higher places because they have read English very fluently. You know, our English is better than any other person's English in India because we have been educated well in English. Okay, English is a connectivity language. We don't accept Hindi as our national language.
Sir, Prakash sir, I totally agree. I mean, that's another conversation whether Hindi is a Rashtra Bhasha or not. But the point is, I think Dayanidhi Maran overreacted. I think Dayanidhi Maran breached every decent. You don't Tamil dane. We are all. I'm sorry, I became emotional. Started speaking in Tamil, but we are Tamils, right? We respect each other. Right. Why resort to such horrible language, sir? Look at Tamil Nadu data, sir. Tamil Nadu data, the caste slurs, the violence, you know, which every day I only read this. So and so child was beaten because he's from a lower caste. So and so, you know, feces was, you know, added to the water tank. What nonsense. Dayanidhi Maran should first see within himself to talk like this, Prakash sir. You know, I'm so sorry, but this is not the way you treat anybody. I mean, they've come to work in your state. You call them toilet cleaning and all that. I live in Delhi, Prakash sir. Let me tell you, most of my Tamil brothers here have small kiosks and they are making idli dosai. Whereas the same man, a Punjabi, has a 3-storied restaurant. Does that make him superior? No. Sriram? No. Yeah. So it's yeah.
Here Dayanidhi Maran mentions about Hindi superiority than Tamil.
He should have kept to that. Sir, no, sir.
In that context only he has spoken.
I understand, sir, but
without context, if you take
sir,
that,
but he overreacted. He overreacted, sir.
Maybe overreact. Everybody will overreact. Oh. See, all the BJP fellows will overreact on Muslims. Oh. So what you are going to say?
All right, sir. Prakash sir, I'll just come to you. Sriram, come in here.
I think as much as Dayanidhi Maran requires condemnation, I think the panelists you have brought in your show need similar kind of a treatment. What does he mean to say? What does he mean to say that because you learn English, you become so and so? And what is the dignity of labor? What is he talking about? This gentleman is claiming himself to be a senior journalist and defending the undefendable? Is that the right? Is that the right thing? You know, for everyone, their mother tongue, their mother language has got pride. But that does not give you any bloody license to call the neighbor's mother or neighbor's motherland or neighbor's mother tongue and make them feel bad. Dayanidhi Maran had done that. Where is Hindi imposed? Who imposed Hindi? Who is imposing Hindi?
No, there
is no Hindi imposition anywhere. No, I don't know Hindi as long as I was in Tamil Nadu.
Right. But you know, I also want to ask you, Sriram, that some people are saying, why is the BJP pulling out an old video clip? So I want to hear your comment because let me clarify here, Sriram.
Yeah.
Whether it's old, whether it's 10 years old, 20 years old, a thought as despicable as this is a thought, and unless he apologizes, it stands there. Now go ahead, Sriram.
These are timeless and ageless things.
Yeah.
Now what happens is, you know, if you want to do politics based on divisive politics, you must not cross Gumidipundi. You must stay within Tamil Nadu and do the entire politics. You aspire to be a national player. You want to be a part of an alliance which says that we will replace the BJP government and install somebody else as the Prime Minister. You have national aspirations because Mr. Karunanidhi, as long as he was there, he kept all these elements under check, Sudha. You must be knowing it. when he realized that he's going to be part of a union government, he realized that he understood his limitations. That is why even when Elam War was taking place, he said, what can we do in the assembly? He said in the assembly, what can we do? Do you expect us to go and fight the war?
All right. Sriram, just a minute. I'll take a break and I'm coming back. I have to take a break here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about, Dayanidhi Maran's rather disparaging remarks about Biharis and those who live in UP and work in Tamil Nadu. But I have to take a break. But this South Indian shall be back and we shall take this debate forward. Stay with us.
Bangalore traffic is an example of something that has gone wrong with our system.
We have more than 50 flyovers in Bangalore city. If flyover is a solution to traffic problem, Bangalore should not have traffic problem.
According to TomTom Traffic Index 2022, Bangalore is ranked as the second worst city in the world when it comes to traffic.
The speed limit at the ORR is 80 kilometers per hour, but our vehicle has only moved 10 kilometers per hour.
What Bangalore needs is a surgery, but what we have been offered repeatedly are band-aids.
Only on the world's first news OTT. News9 Plus, ahead of the curve.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the South Indian is here. We're discussing about what Dayanidhi Maran, who is a Lok Sabha MP, spoke about, rather his comments from an old clip, of course, dating back to 2019, about those who live and work in Tamil Nadu, that is people from Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. He said, of course, look at them, they construct roads, they construct homes, they also clean the toilet. Bhanuchandar Nagarajan, let me now welcome you into the show. Bhanuchandar Nagarajan, I just think that here, if you look at the larger picture, and that's what I'm going to speak about now, I think it's more about politics than anything else, because the thing is that whether it is Gaumutra, whether it is Pani Puri, whether it is Sanatana Dharma, and now this, and there are innumerable you will find on internet again and again, it keeps going on and on and on and on. It is just that somewhere I feel, and the Congress has not yet, except for Pawan Khera, have not yet reacted on it. No major leader has spoken about it. And also let me make it very clear, I wanted DMK representatives and also a representative from Tamil Nadu Congress to come, both declined. So, they didn't want to come. So, the thing is that it's maybe a kind of DMK is not very sure about the Congress's prospects in 2024, and therefore, like a lone wolf, is going on and trying to kind of, create a safety nets for its own constituency. What do you think, Bhanuchandar? That's the larger political game plan, as it were.
Hi, Sudha. I want to begin by narrating a small story. When Sundaramurti Nayanar was singing about Lord Shiva, Shiva did not give darshan for a long time. So at one point he gets frustrated and says, "Are you even a decent person?" You know how he asks? He asked, "Ni Tamilana." He asked, like, "Are you a Tamil?" Okay. So that was the sort of virtue that was associated with being a Tamil. He actually equated divinity with being Tamil. So that was the apogee of our civilization. What we have right now is the pigs, and the disparaging remarks are extremely hurtful. And I think the DMK party together, not just this, there have been many instances, they have imbibed the worst instincts of its ideological mentors, Periyar, who actually went about cursing everybody. So I think that is it's a sad state of affairs. You can have political differences with other parties, other groups, but this kind of behavior is absolutely terrible. And also, he is an MP from Central Chennai, supposed to be like the advanced constituency or whatever. They will claim that. But he speaks like that. So I think it's extremely despicable. And we have to like one quick second. You keep saying that he's from Harvard and all. He just went for a certificate course. He doesn't have a degree from Harvard. And also he's a nepotistic man child who has not achieved anything of his own.
No, but Bhanuchandar, he's not salt of the earth, dyed in the wool kind of Tamilan. He is somebody who speaks English with an accent. I've met him at conferences. He's like really, someone who's well traveled. So, all this, he's not what you would call, the way they call dhoti walas. They are not like that. He is somebody who is well travelled. He's an extremely privileged man. These Marans are extremely privileged. What are we talking about? He didn't go sit in some government school and study Tamil. He didn't. So I am saying, when I say Harvard, it is also that maybe you and I can't go even for a certification course. It costs a bomb, but he can afford it. He can afford it.
Yeah. Yeah. So FYI, I have a degree from Harvard, Sudha, but that's a different point altogether.
Wow.
The thing is, he is what's the point of being well traveled and well read? He doesn't have any culture whatsoever. So I think it's extremely despicable. Mahatma Gandhi cleaned toilets. I mean, we are now like building toilets like anything and elevating it to a level of karma yogis, the people that we build. So I think it's extremely despicable. But you asked a question about politics, so just give me a minute. There are 3 dimensions to this politics. I want to take it one by one. One is the internal politics of Tamil Nadu. You would know that the Naam Tamizhar Katchi is like absolutely chasing the heels of DMK with an increasing vote share, and there is sort of a competition among who is being the guardian of the Tamil. So that is where I think when you're playing this politics, they are catering to the worst instincts by discrediting the North Indians, discrediting people who are not only building Tamil Nadu but also building India. You see, they are working in Ladakh and the Northeast, building roads and everything. See, so that is number one. Number 2 is the politics of Bihar. These kind of videos keep surfacing, and the BJP will make sure that it is shown in Bihar, because just give me 30 seconds, Sudha. I'm just going to make a point.
I have to take a break.
So the thing is, just give me 30 seconds.
Yeah, go on.
So the thing is, like the politics of, because Bihar is like a fertile ground for BJP. They want to like capture all of Bihar. And the last point is the India alliance, where it's a very complicated affair. And yeah, I'll talk after the break, perhaps.
All right, I have to take a break, ladies and gents, and I'm sorry, Bhanu Chandar, I had to interject in that fashion, but do stay on. All my guests, the panelists, and also ladies and gentlemen, the South Indian will be back. We're talking about Dayanidhi Maran and his disparaging comments on Biharis and those from Uttar Pradesh.
वर्ष 2070 तक भारत नेट जीरो का लक्ष्य हासिल करेगा.
There is certainly a wall of capital coming into the clean tech, climate tech space, not just in India but across the world.
This and more, streaming on world's first news OTT, News9 Plus. Download now.
It was my 14th birthday.
On birthday, daughter waits
for missing father.
He was carrying a cake for his daughter.
49-year-old Birmingham-based
Indian diplomat vanishes.
He was grabbed and bundled into a car by 4 assailants.
KLA claims responsibility, demands Kashmiri separatists.
Makbul Bhatt's release.
Goli maro, or feck do.
And within 3 days, they shot him dead.
Abducted diplomat.
Found murdered in Leicestershire.
I said, who ordered to kill him? To me, he said, yes, I ordered it.
And he never came home.
Stop searching. Start streaming. Download the world's first news OTT, News9 Plus, ahead of the curve.
जानना है तो देखिए, समझना है तो सुनिए, सीखना है तो पूछिए, और कमाना है तो खरीदिए। जानकारी, सलाह और निवेश सब एक ही सुपर ऐप पर। पैसे का सवाल है तो जवाब है Money9। आजादी पैसे की। अभी डाउनलोड करें।
The scale of the attack was something that we were surprised at. David Hadley was a double agent. The Americans did not want him to be fully exposed, so all that he probably shared with the Americans was not shared with us in terms of intelligence. If we had that, I'm sure that we would have been able to deal with the situation far better.
This and more streaming on world's first news OTT, News9 Plus. Download now.
Welcome back. The South Indian is here. We're speaking about DMK MP's ethnic slur on UP and Bihar, that MP being Dayanidhi Maran. All my guests are here. Let me now go to Prakash Damodaran sir. Prakash sir, you know, the DMK has now started a podcast called Speaking for India, and you know, where Stalin addresses the nation. Now it's translated into Hindi, sir, because they are saying that you know, not only will it be translated in Malayalam, Kannada and also Telugu, but also Hindi. Why are they doing it, sir, if they are so against Hindi, Prakash sir? What do you think is the need to do it? They have also gone on record to say that, you know, we are also addressing people who are Hindi speakers and opening for jobs. So what is this hypocrisy, Prakash sir?
Sir, Madam, Dayanidhi Maran's statement does not mean anything against Hindi speaking people or anybody's mother. Okay. It just says that we are more higher than those people who speak Hindi. They want to impose Hindi on us. We are not against Hindi. See, we are Indians. Okay. We are. Can you avoid us from Indian framework? We have got 40 MPs. Okay, who decide the fate of India. Not like Kerala, only 20 MPs. We are 40 MPs. Okay, we decide a major chunk of Indian politics throughout. They mentioned Kalaignar. Kalaignar was part of BJP alliance and he decided it. Okay, then he was a part of UPA 1, UPA 2 and they have decided it. Okay, so the Kalaignar Stalin speech, it will go in Hindi or English or in French or any other language. It is same to us, but we don't want to anybody to impose their language on us. We are struggling from 1967. We have lost so many lives in this land. Hindi education history is very huge, and we have a very huge feeling on the imposing of any language as Rashtrabhasha. Okay, in that context only, Dayanidhi Maran just compared. These people are doing this type of jobs.
Prakash sir, but you know, anyone, do you agree that anyone who's cleaning toilets or creating, you know, building roads, they are doing an inferior job?
No, not at all. Even Tamilians will do this job in Arab countries or any place, whichever that is.
A job is a job, Prakash sir. Dignity of labor. Yeah. Everyone cannot be a collector, no?
Yeah. That you see, when you talk in the state, in election propaganda, when you speak about Hindi, imposing Hindi, and all sorts of things, some wrong things may come out of the mouth. After some years, you see Sanatan Dharma. See, we are fighting against Sanatan Dharma as we understand. It imposes caste system in the Hindu society. We oppose it very badly.
Sanatana Dharma is very different from Varnashrama, sir. With due respect to you, Prakash sir, you know, you are a very well-known journalist, sir. I know your ideology, but there is something called knowledge. You can't, like in Tamil, we can't say Vella Kaka Parakkardunu. Kaka na karuppa da irukum. Suresh, let me come to you there and ask you something. What is going to be the political repercussion of this entire brouhaha, as it were? First, the Sanatana Dharma, because Mr. Modi ran with it, and also now with the Bihar and the UP, because this is a major chink in the armor of the India alliance. Nitish is quiet. There are already kind of major divisions within the India bloc. Your comments on that, sir?
I mean, I'm surprised at the earlier speaker who was still trying to justify what was a despicable statement. Suppose the Arabs tomorrow say that we are higher educated than Tamilians. That is where the Tamilians come and clean toilets in the Gulf. How would the Tamilians take it then? It is despicable, absolutely. And he's trying to justify it. That is what beats my reasoning. Anyway, we leave it at that. But main thing, remember the INDA.alliance press conference in Delhi, or rather the meeting in Delhi, and we saw how Nitish Kumar was speaking in Hindi, and one of the his party men tried to kind of translate that into English, and Nitish stopped him off the track and said, if Stalin wants, let him learn Hindi. I won't get it translated.
Yes.
Did Stalin speak a word after that? Nothing. He just shut his mouth and came back to Chennai.
Right.
That is how Nitish kind of treated him. Imagine, this is what all BJP has to do, is get this video translated or dubbed into Hindi and played across all the North India, including Bihar, UP, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and that is assured of all the wins. And I'm surprised that the earlier speaker was saying that Tamil Nadu is dictating politics, national politics with 40 seats. Where is he dictating? I fail to understand.
Right.
They don't even have a presence in anything in the union cabinet. Zero. Right. And he's saying we are making a presence. This is kind of, I am superior. I'm superior. I'm superior to everybody else.
Yeah, this is a false notion. Absolutely
false. We South Indians are not with these people. Let us get this very clear. I mean, you live in Delhi. You speak fluent Hindi, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody goes to whichever region they need to speak.
Punjabi and Urdu and Bengali. I'm a bit of a polyglot, so I speak several languages.
Several.
But
I mean,
but the point is,
I'm a Malayali who speaks fluent Telugu.
Yeah,
There's no issue regarding it.
There is no issue. And I want to ask you, Bhanu Chandar, that what is it, but ultimately there are constituencies of the DMK. I mean, when I say constituency collectively, this bogey that they have created of, Hindi walas are coming and they shall plunder you and this, that. Don't you think that it is time that it's run its course, Bhanu Chandar Nagarajan?
Long time ago, I think, as I was saying before, they are now competing against the non-Tamil Kachhi, and they are trying to prove who's better in protecting the interests of Tamil Nadu, but they are doing it by appealing to the basic instincts. I just want to make a quick point about the India alliance, which is quite interesting. One is obviously, like what the previous speaker was saying, there is the politics of churn in Bihar, where the BJP is eyeing the vote bank, and that's why Nitish and now RJD, Yadav also was saying that. Tejasvi was critical of it. So they will use it as a bargaining chip against Congress, saying that you are actually making us ally with you because of these, ally with these guys because of you, and hence we want more seats. Second is the Congress. I think Congress is now in a strong position because of its win in Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, especially in Tamil Nadu. So I think they should actually ideally be condemning this vociferously, not the lukewarm rebuttal that Mr. Pawan Khera gave and the radio silence from the top leadership. They should be doing it. But what happens is within the Congress, the equation between the family of the DMK and the family of the Congress is so strong that they will not use this to their political advantage. The Congress is thought of in a suicidal mode in Tamil Nadu because their state unit is not trusted by the central unit or the family. That is where the biggest problem is. I think the DMK is testing waters. Let's see how far they stretch it. But the BJP is definitely going to town with these sort of things.
All right. So I think I've come to the end of it. Prakash sir, I have 20 seconds. If you want to say something, sir, you're most welcome. I think this is going to majorly harm the India bloc alliance, sir. Do you agree?
No, not at all. Not at all. It will not harm the India alliance because we are with this ideology and this practice for a long time from the period of Tandai Periyar. Like the Narayana Guru in Kerala, we have our own ideologies. This will not affect India alliance at all.
Yeah. On that note, I've completely run out of time. My apologies, but thank you so much, Prakash Damodaran sir, for joining us. Suresh, thank you very much. Bhanuchandra Nagarajan, thank you. And Sriram, who had to leave, thanks very much for joining us on this debate. Thank you indeed. And moving on, Prime Minister Narendra Modi hosted a Christmas event at his residence. The event was attended by several members of the Christian community, extending Christmas greetings. Prime Minister Modi said